As you can see by the title, this is not a sports video. This is not a video to where I'm going to come with you with breaking news or an update what's going on in the sports world. This is none of that. This is personal. This is me, Charles Haslon II. This is not any of my other personas. This is not my sports reviews. This is not the sports fanatic. If you've been here long enough, you would know this channel was first named Indianapolis Coast 399. This is not him. This is Charles. This is me, the real me. This is me coming to you, talking to you about what I've been through throughout my entire life. In school, after school, just everything. I felt like I needed to make this video. I felt like I needed to talk to somebody. And whoever comes across this video, that's who I'm going to talk to. This is my form of therapy. This is the only way I can get these things out that I've been trying to say for so many years, because I wasn't able to do it in the past. So here we go. This is an estimate. I want to say about 15, 17 years ago. I'm going to say 17. About 17 years ago, I was what? 8 years old. I was born January the 12th, 1994. I'm 25 years old. So yeah, 17 years ago, I was 8 years old in the first grade. Eight years old in the first grade. I got held back. So I was in the first grade twice. And because of that, I got evaluated. They wanted to know why I wasn't doing well in school. They wanted to know why I was struggling. I got evaluated. Results came back. I had a learning disability. And that was holding me back, keeping me from being able to make progress and succeed in school. I also was diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder. So those are the things I was going through when I was 8 years old. People go through things every day in life. But at that young age, nobody should have to go through anything like that. There's younger kids than me at that time that was going through bigger things, whether it was cancer, whether it was whatever. Like, being that young, you shouldn't have to go through anything like that. You shouldn't have to suffer like that. And I was suffering. I was suffering. As much as I wanted to do good in school, much as I wanted to be with the normal kids in school, I couldn't. I was put in special ed. I had an IEP. I was put in special ed classes. I was getting more attention from the teachers than the other normal kids would, because I needed that. If I didn't have that, I would have failed. I would have failed in elementary. There's no telling if I would have went on to middle school or even finished high school, which I did, but I'll get on to that later on. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me to comprehend and do the work. It was hard for me to even know what was going on. So I had to get my work modified. And the work was easy. It was better for me because I needed that in order for me to be able to pass. And I was able to pass my quizzes, my tests. I was able to get good grades on my work. And because of that, I finished elementary. I ended up graduating 6th grade. Then we move on to middle school, 7th, 8th grade year. I thought everything that I left in the past was in the past, but it haunted me. Everything I was going through in middle school, special ed, the IEP, the special ed classes, the learning disability, I still had it. It carried over. Nothing was gone. It all went from elementary to middle school with me. And in middle school, I started going to therapy. And I want to say to my therapist, she was a lady. I forgot her name because it's been so long. I want to apologize to you. I want to say I'm sorry because I wasted your time. I wasted your time. I know you were trying to help me. I know you were trying to get me in a better position to feel better about myself, not feel so down, not feel sad and depressed. You wanted to uplift me, uplift my spirits. You wanted to help me get better so I could have a better life going forward, but I didn't care. I was so young, I didn't care about anything she was talking about. I was disobedient. I didn't give a fuck. I disrespected her. Well, I didn't disrespect her with words, but I disrespected her time because I didn't say a word to her. I was shutting down. And I used to shut down when I was in elementary. You know, the teacher would call home, Mom, why is your son not talking? We're having a hard time getting through him. We're having a hard time for him to tell us what's going on. Why is he shutting down? Can you tell us anything? It used to go on when I was in elementary, and I used to do the same thing in therapy. And for that, I'm sorry. So I don't know if you're gonna come across this video. I don't even know if you'll remember me. It's been that long. I want to apologize for wasting your time because I never took it seriously. It was her doing the talking more so than me. She would do the talking, I would sit there and listen, but I didn't actually listen because I was still having those struggles even after I was done with therapy. And yeah, I was done with therapy. Therapy didn't work. I wasted her time. I wouldn't talk to her. So my mom and her, they felt like, okay, look, we're going to let him go. Okay, this isn't working. So we're going to mutually agree to part ways. And that's what we did. So therapy was over with. I stopped going to therapy my 7th grade year, 7th, 8th grade. It was tough, just like in elementary. I was having a hard time. But I was able to finish. And I finished elementary. I finished middle school, excuse me. And in middle school, it got harder because the kids started to make fun of me. The kids, oh, you're in special ed. You have a learning disability. Ha, ha, ha. They used to laugh at me and all kind of shit. But, you know, back then, I let it affect me. I let it bring me down. But now, I don't care. People are going to say what they want to say. I'm 25 years old now. I'm not in that same mind frame of giving a fuck. So I'm not going to care. So yeah, at that time, my feelings were hurt. I was hurt. I did care about what they were saying. I did want to hang with the normal kids. I did want to be with my friends and hang with those associates that I had, but I couldn't. I got laughed at all the time. Got made fun of all the time. It was horrible. School was horrible for me. And I graduated. So I finished middle school. And then we go to high school. Everything I thought that was done in elementary carried over to middle school. Carried over to high school. So it was just this reoccurring thing. It just kept going on and on and on. It went from elementary all the way to high school. Everything was just haunting me. It kept catching up to me. I couldn't get by it. I couldn't brush over it. I was still dealing with it. I was still having a hard time learning in school. So I was back in special ed. But because I was a special ed. I was not put in those classes in high school. The classes stopped in high school. And that's where things got even harder. And I don't know why they didn't put me in those classes. I still don't know why. Like, that's why I didn't want to go to that school in the first place. The school I went to was a big high school. We got some big high schools here in Cincinnati. If you live here in Cincinnati, you know what the big high schools is. Schroeder, Aiken High School, Woolworth High School, Taft High School, Roger Bacon. Those are some of the bigger high schools in Cincinnati here. And if you're from Cincinnati, you know that. And I went to Woolworth. I spent 2 years at Woolworth. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I was not put into the classes. I was not able to get the extra attention. Like, I still was a special ed. I still had an IEP, but they didn't put me in those classes. And now that I think about it, like, why did they not do that? Because it would have helped me. I probably could have stayed at that school. I probably could have graduated, and I probably could have finished there. But I had to move on to a different school. I don't know why I wasn't in those classes. And because I wasn't in those classes, I was in the classes with the normal kids. With the kids that wasn't suffering. With the kids that was able to do their work, able to pass their tests without help. They were able to study. I wasn't able to study. If I tried to study, it wouldn't have mattered. Because I wouldn't be able to comprehend the work. I wouldn't be able to understand what was going on that test. I would have failed. I would have failed school. You get what I'm saying? I would have failed. Like, for real. Like, school was so hard for me. It was hard. That learning disability really came down hard on me. It was tough. So I left Woodward. I told Mom, look, Mom, I got to get out of here. I'm not getting the help that I'm supposed to have. And when I left Woodward, guess what grade I was in? Guess how old I was? I was 17 years old when I left Woodward. Those 2 years. And I was in the 9th grade. I was in the 9th grade. You see, you're normally supposed to graduate. You're not graduate. You're normally supposed to get into high school. Some are 15, some are 14, some are 15 in the 9th grade. I was 17 in the 9th grade when I left Woodward. So I had to repeat the 1st grade twice at 8 years old, and I had to repeat the 9th grade twice at 17 years old. So I didn't finish school until I was 20 years old. Around 17 to 18, you normally supposed to finish high school. I didn't finish until I was 20. I didn't graduate until I was 20. I graduated in 2014. 5 years ago, I graduated high school. Yeah. So I was in school longer than a lot of other kids because I needed that help. I had that disability. That disability was really fucking with me. It was really getting to me. It made me depressed. It made me sad. It made me feel down. And I know that I had an issue. And it was still getting to me every day. So I moved on from Woolworth to a different high school, virtual high school. And this high school was not a normal high school. It wasn't a big high school. It was a high school that used to give kids and high schoolers more attention. So yeah, that's what I got. I was able to get back in those classes. I was able to get more attention from the teachers. And I was able to function. I was able to do the work. Like how I was in elementary and middle school. But that time in Woolworth, it almost crushed me. It almost killed every chance of graduating. But in virtual, I was able to get back in those classes. Everything was going good. And I graduated. I dedicated that 12th grade year to my mom because I put her through so much. Every day the school would call, why is your son shutting down? He won't do his work. I was failing miserably at Woolworth High School. I used to get so many F's, so many D's because I didn't do the work, or if I did do the work, I didn't do it the right way. So yeah, high school was tough, but I finished. I have my diploma. But everything that haunted me from elementary to middle school to high school is still haunting me right now. I still get depressed. I still suffer from depression. I still have this anxiety disorder. It hasn't gone away. Now, the learning disorder, I'm not sure. Okay, I had to get in college to know that. But I still have the depression. I still have the anxiety disorder. I still go through things every day. It's been times where it's been times where I thought about ending it. It's been times where I thought about ending it all. Just giving up. And I've told my sisters and my mom this. Like, I thought about just being done with life. I thought about being done with this shit. I wanted it to be over. I got tired of suffering. I got tired of being sad all the time. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. I got tired of living. I was contemplating on just ending it. I wanted to die. I had it all planned out. But I didn't have the courage or the balls enough to do it because I'm stronger than that. Something was telling me you have a lot to live for. You have a lot going for yourself. If you just hold on, you're going to get through everything that you're going through. And I listened. And I didn't do that. I would have made a huge mistake doing that. I would have hurt so many people doing that. Especially my mom. My family. I would have did a lot of hurt. So I didn't do that. But I'm going to go back in the past for a little bit. 2011. Here I am in 2011. And I hear about this thing called YouTube. I knew what YouTube was, but I didn't have a channel. I want to give a huge shout out to my sister and my brother. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this platform to be able to talk about sports because I was already into sports. From middle school to high school to now, I was already in sports until that time. But I wasn't making videos. I didn't know how it worked. I started uploading. I started feeling better about myself. Like, sports really has got me through a lot of tough times. And sports has really held it down for me. Sports is everything to me. Sports is my life. If sports didn't exist, I wouldn't be here. I'm telling you that right now, straight up. I wouldn't be here, man. I wouldn't. I don't know where I'd be right now because it's helped me get through so much shit. Sports make me so happy. I just love everything about it. Like, I get the updates on my phone, and I just love seeing anything that just revolves around sports. Football, basketball, wrestling, boxing, sometimes, UFC sometimes, but mainly it's football, basketball, and wrestling. I just love everything about sports. And sports is everything to me. And they told me about these videos that you could make on YouTube back in 2011. This is 8 years ago. I made this channel. And they say, oh, Charlie, you could start making videos. You always watching sports. You love sports so much. You can turn this into an opportunity to make money and an opportunity to make videos and reach out to viewers and get fans. So I say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Started doing it. 2011 and 12 was two of my biggest years on YouTube. I gained so many views, so much traction on this channel. Those are two of my biggest years. 2013 as well, somewhat, 14. But yeah, around that time I was doing my thing. But now it's different. Like I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing back then. I haven't evolved. I'm still making the same kind of videos, and I feel like I need to make better content. I know I do. But right now, this is all I can give you. Until I can get myself better, feel better about myself, I'm not going to be able to make those changes. So this is what I have for you. I'm going to keep coming to you guys with the same breaking news kind of videos, what's going on in the sports world, in the NFL, the NBA, sometimes wrestling here and there, but mainly football and basketball, the NBA and the NFL. I'm going to always bring you guys those videos because it makes me happy. I love sports. I love doing this shit. And I'm never going to stop the grind here on YouTube. I'm going to always make these videos until I can't no more. Until this platform is gone, I'm going to continue to upload. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Struggles I had through school still haunts me to this day. The depression is real, people. Depression is real. I swear, I'm telling you, it's real, man. It's real. These disorders, they're real. It's nothing to joke about. It's nothing to make fun of. Somebody like me that's going through things every day, and it's hard for them. It's hard for them to live life. So what gets me through my day is sports. What gets me through my day is making these videos for you guys, for anybody that watches, for anybody that comes across them. And I love doing it. I'm not going to stop because it what makes me happy. Like I said, if sports didn't exist, I wouldn't be here right now. I would have been gone. I was already contemplating on leaving this earth, but I was strong enough to know that I couldn't do that. So yeah, that's it. That's Charles Haslon II.